Defining and building a company culture is one of the most controversial and difficult challenges in talent management today. Everyone agrees it's important, but almost no one agrees on how to do it effectively. Most attempts end up as a list of nice-sounding words on a wall that have zero impact on daily behavior. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you a different, more scientific approach. You'll learn why generic value statements fail, how to structurally connect ideals to actions, and see a tool that does exactly that. Let's start with the core problem. In the talent org industry, we're tasked with operationalizing something as fluid as human potential. The challenge isn't wanting a great culture, it's architecting one. Generic tools fail because they treat culture as a document to be written, not a system to be engineered. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. They give you a place to type your principles, but no mechanism to deconstruct them into teachable, observable, and measurable behaviors. This creates a massive translation gap. Leadership has a vision, managers hear a slogan, and employees see a poster. No one is aligned on what the vision actually looks like in practice day to day. The real industry challenge is moving from aspiration to evidence. This requires a technical method. The approach behind Build People Vision Map is based on behavioral mapping and logic validation. Think of it like engineering a bridge. You don't just say, build a strong bridge. You define load-bearing principles, you specify the behaviors of the materials under stress, and you create examples of successful construction. Our software applies this rigor to people strategy. The key concept is the vision map hierarchy. Principles lead to behaviors, and behaviors are illustrated by concrete examples. A principle might be, we champion innovation. A derived behavior could be, publicly celebrates intelligent failures in team meetings. An example would be a specific story of a post-mortem discussion that focused on learning. The common misconception is that this is just a fancy document editor. It's not. It's a validation engine. The software's core function is to analyze these links. It checks if every principle has defined behaviors, and if every behavior has clarifying examples. It flags gaps. It highlights weak connections, and it ensures the entire structure is logically sound and internally consistent before you ever communicate it. Let me walk you through what the software specifically does. You start by inputting your core people principles. The software then guides you through a process of behavioral decomposition. For each principle, you define what good looks like in terms of observable actions. Then, for each behavior, you attach real or hypothetical examples from your work context. As you build this map, the tool is working in the background. It's creating a visual model of your people vision. But more importantly, it's running validation checks. It can ask you questions like, your principle of trust has 3 behaviors focused on transparency, but none on vulnerability. Is this intentional? It helps you audit your own thinking. The software also allows for scenario modeling. You can ask, if we prioritize this principle over that one in a budget crunch, which behaviors would be reinforced and which might atrophy? It turns your vision from a static statement into a dynamic system you can test. Let me walk you through a hypothetical example. Imagine a company with a principle of radical customer focus. They define a key behavior as every employee can articulate the customer's top 3 pain points. They add examples from sales, support, and engineering. Then, they define another behavior, proposes solutions that address root causes, not just symptoms, but they struggle to add a concrete example. The software flags this gap. This forces a crucial conversation. Is the behavior too vague? Do they need to coach managers on how to recognize it? This simple validation prevents launching a cultural initiative with a fundamental flaw. Once your vision map is built and validated, the software helps with compliance and reporting. It generates clear, stakeholder-ready reports. These aren't just lists. They are visual maps showing the strength of connections between your principles and the concrete examples that bring them to life. This is invaluable for board presentations, leadership alignment sessions, and onboarding new hires. It shows the rigor behind your people strategy, aligning it with the same level of scrutiny as a financial or operational report. In closing, Build People Vision Map provides the missing link between wanting a culture and building one. It brings engineering discipline to the art of people strategy. It ensures your vision is structured, validated, and ready for execution. Stop leaving your most important asset to chance.